powerful country in the world. I had the privilege to be a chaplain in Seoul, Korea, during the Olympic Games. They would walk up to me, "Annyeonghaseyo, kamsahamnida, yoboseo." They said, "Where you from?" I said, "I'm from America." And they said, "Oh, USA, #1 country." But in the richest, the most powerful country in the world, 65 million fathers, 27 million children will go to bed tonight without their biological father in the home. When this takes place, a child is more likely to be impoverished, more likely to be poor when a father's not there. When a father's not there, a child is more likely to drop out of school, not to finish high school. And you will hear the statistics. I heard our friend Colin Powell just the other day. He was talking about the graduation rate of most folks, but especially folks my color, African American. 50% of the children are not finishing high school. If Dr. King was living today, he would be upset and say, "What's up with this?" as Mr. Powell said. That is unacceptable. That cannot take place in America. Will not have the privilege to win. But when a father's not there, more likely to drop out of school. When a father is not there, a child is more likely to be involved in a violent crime when a dad's not there. Buddy, you have to be there, and I'm proud of what's happening in your family. I'm not just talking about any particular races. We have various statistics. But when it gets down to it, this is across the board of when a father is not there. When a father is not there, a child, young lady, more likely to get pregnant while she's in high school. You hear what I'm saying, you all? Bottom line, we have a crisis in America when it comes to fathers not being there, but not being involved in their children's lives.
دوستان، به برنامه مادر و کودک خوش آمدید. MomTalk Dr.Nelly برنامه‌ای هستش که در چارچوب به اصطلاح آموزش و پرورش در خانواده سعی می‌کنیم برای شما مهمانانی رو بیاریم در این برنامه که صحبت و بحثمون در رابطه با PeaceLearning و پرورش صلح در خانواده باشه. و امروز از دوستان خوب آقای TrevorMurray با من خواهند بود و در رابطه با اهمیت و ارزش بسیار بالای داشتن پدر و حضور پدران در خانواده میخوایم صحبت بکنیم. نه تنها این از مشکلاتی که هستش که امروزه در اینجا کشور آمریکا که همونطور که اشاره کردن در ویدیو شاید خیلی از افراد در به اصطلاح جوامع دیگه به آمریکا به صورت یک کشور تاپ یا قدرتی نگاه بکنن، ولی میبینیم که بیش از 65 میلیون از پدرانی که به اصطلاح اشاره میکنن به آمار و استاتستیکس و بیش از 27 میلیون از بچه هایی که شب به خواب میرن بدون پدر هستن و این از مشکلات بسیار بزرگ این کشور هستش که میبایست به خصوص در چارچوب آموزش و پرورش و پیس لرنینگ بهش اهمیت بذاریم. و چرا این مهمه و چرا امروزه مهمه؟ به خاطر اینکه در خیلی از مشکلات، در خیلی از مسئله هایی که میبینیم در چارچوب سیاست و یا آموزش و پرورش و غیره، سیاست بین الملل، این مسئله نبودن به اصطلاح شیوه پیس لرنینگ و صلح جویی در رابطه بسیار مشکل‌زا شده. به جایی رسیده که دیگه من فکر میکنم جای آلترناتیو و یا انتخاب دیگه‌ای وجود نداره. بنابراین ما نیاز به یک پدر داریم، نیاز به پدر مهربان، آگاه و با حضور ذهن داریم. و امروز از میهمانان خوب من امروز آقای TrevorMurray هستن. Trevor, welcome to MomTalk. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so let's start this conversation about the important role of fathering and your personal journey. What's motivating you today, as well as what's motivated you in the past to write these books, these children's books, to embark this journey of speaking from the heart and a diary of a father. I'm looking at this book. Tell us your story.
Well, I want to first thank you for having me this wonderful opportunity. I really appreciate being able to talk about my books today and share my story. So I wanted to write today. I grew up expressing myself through writing because I had a hard time remembering things. So the best way for me to do it was to write about certain events in my life where I could go back and capture those moments and remember things. And I guess my short-term memory still isn't the greatest. So when someone writes a book, they have a message to tell. They have a story that they want to portray to their audience. And for me, in writing these books, what I want to do is I have a message for everybody who gets their hands on them. I have a child. My wife and I have an 18-month-old baby boy, and well, now he's a toddler. And what I want to portray to him, what I want to give him is the roadmap to treat other people as he would want to be treated. If he has a passion, if he has something that he loves doing, then I want him to pursue that with everything that he has until he obtains his goals, until he reaches his happiness. And so with these books, I'm writing to a particular audience. I want to reach children, but not only do I want to reach children, I want to reach adults as well. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to let them know at any age that if you really want to accomplish something in life, you can accomplish it. You can pursue your dreams, and it just depends on how hard you want to work for it. Mm-hmm. But each book pertains to each particular message that I want to portray, mm-hmm. and I feel that if you write to children, you can start very young, and you could kind of put the seed in their brain that ultimately anything is possible, and you just have to find your own happiness. So each message, each book has a particular direction I want to lay out for other people to kind of take it their own way. Mm-hmm.
So, Daddy, What If I is the title of this book that you've written for your son. And I was reading this to my kids, and they're 9 and 7, and they were really connecting with it. I think, first of all, I love how you start this book. There's nothing like a dream to create the future, and it's by Victor Hugo. And you go on through storytelling, through this narrative approach of bringing your son's imagination to life. So he's choosing the different professions. So in this book, he starts off with what if I want to be a police officer, right? And then you say, that's fine, okay, you save lives. So a description of the job and what that will entail, right? And so you help them understand each job and explore as, they have big imagination. Daddy, what if I want to be a firefighter when I grow up? And you say, well, that's fine. You can rescue people from burning buildings and put out fires. And so you go on this journey with him. So you're accompanying him, mm-hmm. you're co-regulating, not only emotionally, but also intellectually, his mm-hmm. thoughts. And so at the end, you connect with them and say, well, why don't you go ahead and end the story?
Well, it kind of breaks down to the ending. Mm-hmm. Honestly, Aiden, the choice is up to you. Mm-hmm. No matter what you decide to do, all you have to do is believe in yourself. Dreams can come true depending on how badly you want them and how serious you are about working towards making them come true. Always believe in yourself, and remember this: with each and every day, there is an opportunity to change the world. If you have the power to dream it, you can do it. So with this book, I wanted to connect as a father to my son. I wanted to personally write this to him, mm-hmm. and it's basically my son growing up, and he's curious about the world, and so he's going to have questions. He's going to ask me certain things about different professions, and I'm giving him all the positives of every profession available that he's questioning. So with a police officer, you have the opportunity to save lives, as well as a fireman. You save people from burning buildings. So it's making a difference in the world. And what's most important is that fact that with that story is I'm trying to talk to my son about all the different opportunities that he has. And basically it's a choice that he decides which direction he wants to go in. He'll have my full support.
Wonderful. What a beautiful message. I'm going to take a few minutes to translate. دوستان، آقای ترور که نویسنده این کتاب ها هستن در رابطه با پدر شدن و به اصطلاح PeaceLearning، آموزش صلح در خانواده، تصمیم گرفتن که کتاب هایی رو بنویسن، نویسندگی بکنن که یک پیام های مثبت و آموزنده و توأم با صلح درش گنجایش داشته. و در این کتاب Daddy What If I، پدر اگر من بتوانم پلیس بشم اون موقع چی؟ اگر من آتش نشانی یا به اصطلاح فایرمن بشم اون موقع چی؟ و ایشون در رابطه با این اشغال به خصوص شغلای مختلف بهشون توضیح میدن که اگر دکتر بشی کمک میکنی مردم و در هر شغلی که داری کمک میتونی بکنی و اینگونه میتونی کمک بکنی و نه تنها یک رپرتوار و یک زمینه وسیعی رو در اشغال مختلف برای ایشون عنوان میکنن و باهاشون تو فانتزی و یا رول پلی بازی میکنن و صحبت میکنن، بلکه در کنارش یک پیام بسیار مهمی هستش که هر کاری که هر شغلی رو که انتخاب بکنی، هر کاری رو که بخوای بکنی، اگر که یک به اصطلاح تصویر مثبت و یک رویای انسانی در اصل معنوی انسانی در ذهنت باشه و دنبالش رو بگیری و این پشت کار بذاری برای اون کار، میتونی اون کار رو ارائه بدی و کار خوبی هستش. حتما شاید توی فرهنگ ما شاید یه سریش اشغالی هستش که اونا بیشتر از حد به اصطلاح توجه شده، مثلا دکتر باید بشی، مهندس بشی، وکیل بشی و به قول یکی از دوستانمون که صحبتی رو کرده بودن در این رابطه، شغل چهارم این هستش که to disappoint your parents. و there's like becoming a doctor, a lawyer, and so you speak Farsi, yeah?
Oh, no, I just
you understood.
I understood that part.
So it's wonderful to convey this message to your child from a very young age that no matter what you choose to do, I think giving them that broad spectrum of there's value in any job if you dream and you focus on peace learning and doing good for humanity. And like you say, the golden rule, treat others the way you like to be treated in any task, any work that you do. And so that's the underlining, the peace learning message that comes from your heart. You put it in writing, something that would last him a lifetime. And it's a strong message. And not only to your son, but to thousands of fatherless children or families who are missing a dad. And so this is a gift you're giving to these families. And it's a mission that is important to you. It's close to your heart. And I think to have surrogate fathers or fathers who kind of step in the absence of fathers and fathering in homes, it's such a blessing. It really, I think it's an important, a critical piece in the peace learning process nowadays, because as you know, the absence of fathers or not having a father who's engaged and involved in the upcoming and becoming, growing up is the cause to many issues in this country and around the world, frankly. And so by having a coalition, a group of fathers who care, they're committed to peace learning, and I think it's a lot of good and value that you're bringing to humanity. So tell us about, you're welcome, tell us about this book. This is about
That one was fun.
Diary of a Father. Yeah.
It took me about, I think, a year and a half to do that one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about the idea in my car actually driving home. I think it was from work.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I have a son, and this was written before I was even married. But
No.
yeah, so this story is, I put myself in the main character's position, and the main character, his name is Connor, and he's writing to his daughter, Michaela. Him and his wife are trying to have children, and they're struggling, and they talk about what happens in their life and their everyday, day-to-day, Monday through Sunday type of routine. And he finds out that him and his wife are pregnant, and so he's excited, but he's a little nervous. He doesn't know what to expect. He doesn't know if he wants a boy. He doesn't know if he wants a girl. So he just wants a healthy child. And he finds out that he's having a girl, and he's kind of freaking out a little bit because he's like, he knows how the world is, and he wants to be protective and all that of his daughter. So he has this idea that what if I write to her every single day as she's growing up, as we're growing together as a family, and maybe I could reach out to her and give this to her someday on a special occasion. So he writes in a diary to her, and throughout his life and throughout her life growing up, and it becomes a diary, a pretty substantial diary, a large diary. And he gives it to her when she gets married as a wedding gift. So it's kind of her life growing up. It's their life together. It's his life as a father and his worries and everything that he went through while she was growing up. But it's something that I would personally want to do if I had a daughter. I would love to write to her because that's how I reach an audience. I feel better in putting it in writing, something that you can kind of go back to and just overlook everything, kind of check to see if it makes sense. And I would write to my daughter. So that would be a great idea. I actually heard about it. There's an individual on the radio that set up an email account for his daughter. And that's kind of, I guess, how I took it to a diary from an email account and went with the story. So that was my message, just kind of something really nice. Something that would connect the father and daughter relationship, and something that I would do if I had a daughter. So
I love that idea. Now, why not write to your son? Why is there like this urgency to write to your daughter and not to your son?
I feel that I would end up writing a lot more books to my son. As far as this goes, it's one of my biggest fears. It's kind of weird, but it's having a daughter, and my wife wants a girl really bad. But like my main character, I relate to him and how you kind of are afraid of the world, like you want to shield your child from the world, and boy or girl, you want to shield them, you want to protect them. But I just feel that having a daughter, she grows up and she becomes a woman, that women are a little bit more fragile, so it's like you want to take care of them, you want to be there as like their guardian angel, so I feel a little bit more protective of a daughter in that sense. And I grew up with 3 brothers, so I don't know the feeling of having a sister around, but I just feel kind of by my instincts I'd be really protective. A little bit more so over than having a son. I'm still protective, but it's a little bit different with a daughter. That's just kind of how I would feel.
For your personal experiences. Yeah. It's very different in our home, I have to say. Our girls... I would be writing a diary to my son.
There you go. You have a lot of girls?
We have 2 girls,
okay.
and they're very strong girls.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And I come from a family with very strong women, and I think it is in your epigenetics. I think you are brought into the world with this, history of whether you want to call it a warrior mom or this warrior spirit, the strong, powerful person. And I think from, where I come from, the women are very strong. They're very courageous, and they are. I'm very grateful for that. So let's talk about let's see, politics. I know I don't usually like to talk about politics on this show, but with the time being and everything that is happening in our worlds, and you shared with me that in your family, your wife, her background is Democratic and your background is Republican, and so the same with me and my family. So in times like this, I feel like we're being tested with our peace learning, right? I think this is the biggest test that we're facing nowadays in our society. Can you speak about that, and what is it like in your home with your child and your community?
Well, there was something that I think I might have read it in a book, or I might have heard it in passing. You want to treat like a janitor at a company as opposed to a CEO the same way. You want to treat them with the same respect. So being that we have Donald Trump in the presidency, of course, he wasn't my first option. He wasn't even really an option that I decided to choose with as a Republican. He's a little bit more aggressive, so it was kind of hard to being behind him and what he said and what he's doing, and he's really going quite quickly actually with a lot of different things. And what I want to do as a parent, as a father, as a husband, is I want to take care of my home, my family first, take care of my friends, my close-knit little community, and I want to be the best person I possibly can for those people, and be the best version of myself, and just display, without even really words, is just talking, is just expressing, love and kindness, and every single day, just being appreciative of what you have. And realize that we are a melting pot. My mom was from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, and she came here and she didn't know any English. She only knew Spanish. And my dad came from Toronto, Canada. So they both were immigrants. They came here. I was born here, blessed with so many opportunities of just living in the United States. We can't get away from just people being people. We're human beings. We're all we all bleed the same. We're all the same on the inside. It doesn't matter race, religion, color, background. If we all coexist, if we all we get up, we go to work, we take care of our families, we provide for our families, we generate things in society, we do what we have to do in society and just keep things moving, I don't see a problem in everybody working together and coexisting, because the world, the United States, is a big melting pot, and we have to respect that, and we have to respect other people's opinions, other people's feelings and beliefs, and just empathize more. Like, we don't know their journey, we don't know where they came from, where their parents came from. I mean, we all weren't born in America, we all kind of just ended up here, or we're striving to be here because of certain circumstances in our country or their countries. So it's just, what I want to do is just empathize with other people. Put yourself as best as you can in their shoes and respect them. Give them the opportunity until they burn you, basically. Just give them the shadow of the doubt, innocent until proven guilty, I guess you can say. And just treat people with respect and do the best you can to be the best version of yourself.
So, as you know, in our community, the ban, the Muslim ban, or this new way of treating those citizens who are traveling and entering the country and leaving the country, this is a very hot topic now. And so to have a peaceful communication about it, to engage with those who are backing up our President Trump, and as well as those who are human rights activists who are standing up for what's more of a humanitarian approach to this. Do you feel like having those conversations and engaging bipartisanship, or both parties coming together in a perfect union to come up with post sort of ban activities? A lot of resistance is coming from the left and the Democratic parties, but I don't see much on sort of the Republican side. I feel like there's a wonderful opportunity here to come together, to be united on teasing out and understanding the policies and how we're moving forward with some of these issues.
Yeah, I personally think I tried my best to stay out of politics. As you get older, you just kind of fall into it. You have to be conscious and aware of your world.
Yeah.
You have to be conscious and aware of what's going on in your community, because if you want to start a family, if you want to grow and mature and be the best well-rounded person you can be, you do get involved in those kind of things. And for me, I just don't like even the titles of Republican and Democrats, because I feel it's a form of segregation. I would like you were saying, I would like everyone to just come together. And I know there's different beliefs for each party, but it's like when someone is elected presidency, you know, there's going to be uproars to some extent of people that weren't happy if they didn't vote for him or vote for her or whatever the case is. And they're going to feel, well, then my vote doesn't count, or it just goes by electoral votes. It doesn't, each individual vote maybe doesn't matter. There's a lot of different things you can go with that. I just want to be supportive. I mean, as best as I can. And then if I see things that I don't like, then I would have to, like you said, like people are doing, exercise your rights, exercise what you know, start at home, build among your community, your family, your friends, and get together and find a peaceful solution. We have to coexist, synergize. We have to come together as a community, as people, because it's only better for future generations. It's only better for us. And we have to, like I was saying earlier, we have to empathize with each other, and we have to respect each other's decisions and beliefs and backgrounds. And wherever you stand, if you praise God, if you pray after every meal, however you want to do it, you just have to respect that. And just empathize with people, you know, just treat them as people, as individuals. And we all are different in our own way, and that's what makes America beautiful, is we are different. We're not all the same. You know, we're not all white, we're not all black, we're not 6 feet, we're not 3 feet. You know, we're different people. We are our own person. And so I think that's what I would want to do, is I would get together and with people, my family, my community, people at work, coworkers, and say that how can we find a middle ground? You know, how could we come together and, you know, move forward in the right direction? And I think that's important.
Yeah, it's the type of conversations that we can have these days. شیوه گفتگو، گفتمان و روابطی که امروزه برای خودمون به وجود میاریم یا توش هستیم، به نظر من میتونه خیلی سازنده باشه. برای مثال، اگر در گفتگو با به اصطلاح اون دوستان یا کسانی که باورهاشون بیشتر به اصطلاح با جمهوری خواهان هستش، در رابطه با اونهایی که بیشتر دموکراتیک هستن و یا دموکراسی رو دنبال میکنن و پیشروی دموکراتیک پارتی هستن، من فکر میکنم در این میانه جای بسیاری وجود داره برای همکاری و به اصطلاح تمرکز روی آن اهدافی که برای human rights, peaceful resolutions و PeaceLearning میتونه واقعا بقا داشته باشه برای هممون، برای همگی ما. و من در زندگی خودم، زندگی شخصی خودم این رو تجربه کردم که وقتی که گفتمان تو هم با صلح، پرورش صلح یا صلح، به وجود آوردن صلح، ارتقاء صلح در رابطه هستش و یا حفظ رابطه، من فکر میکنم خیلی بیشتر کار رو میشه جلو برد و تمرکز میتونه روی اون معیارها و ارزشهایی باشه که شاید یکی هستش. Oftentimes, at least in my conversations with my husband or our friends who are Republicans, when we focus on common grounds and those common beliefs and values and the like-mindedness, whether, it's focusing on peace or doing what's right for all and liberty and peace and prosperity for all. I think that's when I feel that there is a lot of opportunity for thriving, for growth, for doing good for our community. And I also agree with you. I love moving from the inside out. I believe that PeaceLearning, or when we're growing, thriving, it's an inside-out process, right? And so finding individuals who will accompany you through this journey, and they are committed to it throughout this journey. I think to build that community, like you said, to build your community, focus on building your community. How do you connect like-minded individuals who are in it? And it's very important to have diversity.
Yes.
It's very important to have the Republicans and the Democrats and the interfaith community, and this is part of developing PeaceLearning, right?
Definitely.
So it's wonderful. I'm so honored and happy to have you speak on this matter, because there's a lot of tension nowadays, even within our community. I think there's a split. People are, becoming resistant and angry and upset for good reason. These are individuals within my community, individuals who were stopped at the airport, who were personally affected by this ban and this policy. And so what you can do، کاری که شما میتونین بکنین در رابطه با این مسلم بن و یا این به اصطلاح پالیسی جدید، این هستش که اون کسانی رو که در اقدام مثبت میکنن، من میدونم روی سوشال میدیا خیلی به اصطلاح کسانی که دارن کمک میکنن، کمک رسانی بسیار خوب پخش شده، این صدا رو به همه جا برسونین. وکلایی هستن که در این راه بسیار فعالیت میکنن، پروتستایی هستش که در فرودگاه ها انجام میشه و من فکر میکنم امروزه با وجود سوشال میدیا و اون جوری که همه ما خیلی با هم کانکشن و رابطمون نزدیکتر شده از قدیم، ما میتونیم پیام صلح و اون به اصطلاح دفاع از حقوق بشر رو روی اون بچسبیم و اون رو به اصطلاح پشتش باشیم and find those opportunities where we are united. We are fighting for liberty, justice, and peace for all. And yeah, I think that's a positive way of dealing with it. I think the not so positive is when we get angry and we start to engage in aggression and and social media nowadays, it's really hard to control because it's like a brush fire. You start some conversation, people get mad, and it just spreads. It blows up, right? Yeah.
No. I think with kind of going back a little bit to my books, and you're asking me in the very beginning, what made you write these books? Well, as a writer, as an individual like myself, I have a voice. We all have voices. I believe since the very first book that I published in 2011, I believe that we all have a voice, and I just went about it a different way by promoting my voice, by putting it into a book. With social media now and the power of technology that we have at our doorstep, it's completely insane because everybody has a voice and they're using their voices. And you can reach an audience. I can speak with somebody in another country. I can post a picture of my book and talk about the story and what message I'm trying to portray, and somebody in another country can reach out on Instagram or Facebook and say, I'm interested in your book, how do I get a hold of it? And that just blows my mind. You can reach a completely different audience and all over the world, and it's a very powerful asset for us to use. And with it, it's good and bad because in the wrong hands, I mean, you could say things, you could do things. There's bullying, unfortunately, a lot of that now. There's social media bullying now. When I grew up, I didn't know anything about that. I mean, it was something that we would go to school and we would personally have to deal with certain things, and it was more like face-to-face, as opposed to now you go on social media, and if you post something on Facebook or Instagram, it could hinder the chances of you getting a job in certain locations in certain places, because people do background checks and they look into you as an individual, and social media just gives you that opportunity to reach a whole nother audience, and people could also see what kind of person you are. It just, you kind of lay out like a little resume of your likes and dislikes and things that you're interested in, and people choose to be a part of that journey and watch you go along with that journey, or they choose to like send their message on your page or drop you a line if they disagree. And just basically my approach is I would like everybody to come together and right side, left side, Republican, Democratic Party, if you're Catholic, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, and just find a common ground that if you treat people with respect, if you treat them like human beings, then they'll do the same to you. And that's pretty much the basis of our country, is we're a melting pot, and we have to just treat people like they matter. Everybody matters. And if you treat them with respect, then you should get the same in return.
Yeah, and I'm a fond believer. You know, I'm very hopeful. I've always been very optimistic in life, and focused on peace learning and thriving. It's just, I think, part of the parenting as well as my early years experiences. I think if we can really believe that, have that faith or belief in our heart that there is good, there is light, and we can reach it by transforming, this transcendental, this opportunity to evolve and grow and move from one state where perhaps we're not growing so much to the next. And sometimes crisis is the basis of this growth. So it is possible that in this very difficult time for many, that there's this post-traumatic transformation for many who are going to transform and come together. And I already see roots of this. I already see many groups, interfaith groups, many groups of different diversity who are coming together. They're connecting, they're uniting, and finding one voice that they can agree on. And so that might be something to look forward to be hopeful about. Yeah.
I just feel that I completely agree with you. And personally, if there's one bad individual, and there are bad people in the world, and there's good, there's evil. That's just the way it works. Doesn't mean one individual in one particular race, if they commit a crime or they do something horrendous, we can't put it on a basis of a whole race or religion. We have to understand that there are certain people that will do bad things, and we just have to chalk it up as they're a troubled individual. They're troubled people. Maybe they had a difficult growing up. We just don't know their situation. And so because a certain person or people come together and they do bad, it doesn't mean an entire race or an entire religion is bad. And I've always said, which is very, very optimistic to me in my own way, is that if one individual could do something that could create such a chaos that could hurt so many people, just imagine what one person could do for good, what one person could do as a chain reaction, as like a pay it forward, and do something for someone they may never see again, and go up to their doorstep and say, hey, I'd like to give you some money to pay your bills, or you see someone on the side of the road and they look cold and you drop blankets for them. You are the domino effect of good. So you can pave the way for other people to follow, and you could be like the light in the tunnel, in a dark tunnel, so to speak.
بنابراین در رابطه با گفتگومون با آقای ترور مری در رابطه با امید و امیدواری و امید داشتن در دل و روانشناسی امید و صلح صحبت می‌کنیم، و اینکه خیلی از اوقات اون شیفت یا تحولی که از ناامیدی به امیدواری یک یک فرد پیدا میکنه میتونه در یک عمل خیلی ساده و یک عمل توأم با مهربانی و kindness به قول معروف compassion شفقت باشه. و وقتی که شما به عنوان یک شهروند ساده عملی توأم با مهربانی انجام میدین با یک کسی که شاید اصلا نشناسینش، به قول ایشون اگر هوملس یا کسی هستش که در خیابان میبینین که سردشه، براش پتو میگیرین و او رو در آغوش یا گرمش میکنین، یا کسی رو که نمیشناسین بهش پولی میدین که بیلای ماهش رو بپردازه، یا در جاده رانندگی دارین میکنین و اجازه میدین یکی جلوی شما بره و به او راه میدین. این اعمال ساده توأم با صلح و صلح پروری هستش در اصل که میتونه ارتقاء صلح رو در شما، در زندگی شما و جامعه شما بالا ببره و بسیار بسیار پر ارزش هستش. یعنی همونطور که یک شاید رهبر یا یک لیدر بتونه با اعمال شاید جست گریخته و اعمال ناشایسته یک کارایی رو به اصطلاح انجام بده که مردم رنج ببرن ازش یا منجر به آسیب بشه، یک فرد دیگه در مقابل اون رهبر میتونه کارهای خوبی رو انجام بده که صلح و به اصطلاح شاید بهزیستی رو در جامعه بالا ببره. بنابراین تفکر it's how you cultivate peace in mind. It's from an inside out process. Staying focused on peace in your heart, in your mind, the connection of heart and mind, your soul. It's a very well integrated process. And so if you as an individual, you as a father, you are laser focused on cultivating, accompanying your son in your family, staying connected to your wife who's a Democrat. You know, you have a perfect union, right? So very different views. In fact, the definition of mental health is taught in middle school to kids as the level of connection, the connectivity, how connected two individuals of holding different beliefs is an indicator. So if you and your wife who hold very different beliefs, like me and my husband, very different beliefs, can stay connected and respect each other and live together and accompany each other, that is a definition, that's an indication of mental health and well-being. And so as I will testify or say that it is challenging at times, but it is also very much related to our individual and collective growth together, as I'm sure you've experienced it with your wife and your family. And your son is the beneficiary. He's going to benefit from this wonderful, perfect union of different opinions, however, respect and deeply seated respect for each other, right? And I think that's a strong message that you're bringing into your community and your world and your son's life, and it's such a gift that you're giving to your son. More than anything else, it's more valuable than any monetary or any thing you can imagine. So thank you for being this type of a father and being a peace learning ambassador and activist. And yes, let's talk a little bit about در رابطه با پیس لرنینگ و فعالیتایی که شما میتونین امروزه یا این روزا به خصوص این روزای حساس انجام بدین برای اون سری متخصصینی که در رابطه با پرورش و آموزش صلح، شاید از ایران اگر با ما هستین و این برنامه رو تماشا میکنین، کتابایی رو توصیه میکنم که بسیار بسیار مفید و سازنده هستش، به خصوص در دانشگاه ها اگر بتونین تدریس بکنین یا گروه هایی تشکیل بدین که این مطالب رو در کمیته های به خصوص، در کلاس های به خصوص این مطالب رو پرورش بدین و جا بندازین. اگر که فعالیت میکنین در ایران در رابطه با به اصطلاح حقوق بشر و یا PeaceLearning، من توصیه میکنم که یک شیوه، یک روش رابطه یا تماس با هم پیدا بکنیم که بتونیم در رابطه باشیم. این کتابی رو که شاید سخته براتون به خاطر اینکه آبی هستش، ولی Methodologies in Peace Psychology، اینجا در آمریکا American Psychological Association APA ارگانیزیشنی هستش که تمام روانشناسان و محققینی که در رابطه با پیس سایکولوژی، روانشناسی صلح فعالیت میکنن و تحقیق میکنن. در چارچوب پیس سایکولوژی، روانشناسی صلح، یک دیویژن و یک کمیته‌ای وجود داره که فعالیت میکنه در American Psychological Association APA. این کتابی هستش که متدهای بسیار در رابطه با روانشناسی صلح رو برای شما به اصطلاح آشنایی شما پیدا میکنین باهاش و بسیار توصیه میکنم. حالا در جلسات بعد حتما با محققین و کسانی که بسیار فعال هستن در این دیویژن و کمیته صحبت و گفتگوی بسیاری خواهیم داشت. کتاب دیگه Teaching Peace هستش، A Restorative Justice Framework for Strengthening Relationships. این بیشتر در رابطه با interpersonal relationships یا روابطی که شما با همسرتون، با به اصطلاح خانواده، فامیل و بچه ها دارین و اون صحبتی که با ترور میکردیم در رابطه با Peace Learning is from the inside out. این بسیار بسیار آموزنده و سازنده هستش، چرا که شیوه های مختلف برخورد در رابطه با چارچوب صلح و پرورش صلح در خانواده رو بسیار خوب توضیح میده و کمک میکنه که شما به خصوص در مدارس، به خصوص در آموزش و پرورش استفاده بکنین. رابطه معلم با شاگرد، آموزگار با به اصطلاح دانش آموز و غیره، که من این ریسورس هایی هستش که خودم الان چون در رابطه با نوشتن کتابم بسیار توش هستم و غرقش هستم، دوست داشتم توصیه بکنم، به خصوص برای شما شهروندانی که در ایران هستین و دوست دارین که این به اصطلاح موومنت پیس و صلح رو جلو ببرین. کتاب دیگه هستش که در رابطه با کودکان هستش، The Peace Tree from Hiroshima. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. No. It's a great story. به خصوص در این ایام که میخوایم صلح رو در رابطهش صحبت بکنیم، قصه‌ای که تاریخی هستش و در رابطه با به اصطلاح هیروشیما هستش و دوستان ژاپنیمون و اینکه اونها چه تاریخچه و چه زندگی رو داشتن و چگونه این سالهای سخت رو طی کردن و من فکر میکنم بسیار مربوط هستش به دورانی که امروزه شاید خیلی از ماها توش هستیم و داریم تجربه میکنیم. The Peace Tree from Hiroshima کتابی هستش که نویسندش ساندرا مور هستش و The Little Bonsai with a Big Story و قصه یک درخت بونزای هستش، درخت‌های ژاپنی بونزای که قصه بزرگی هستش از تاریخچه‌ای که به اصطلاح در گذشته ژاپنیا با بمب اتم در هیروشیما به اصطلاح روبرو شدند و خیلی مطالب بسیار جالبی هست که میتونین در قصه گویی با بچه ها اون رو باز بکنین و شاید یه جورایی بتونین رابطه برقرار بکنین با اون اتفاقایی که امروزه داره میفته و چجوری بچه ها رو بتونین به اصطلاح آگاه بکنین. در هر صورت امروز از آقای ترور بسیار خوشحال هستم. I'm very pleased to have you today on MomTalk. Thank you so much. Your books Come Play With Me. کتاب دیگه هستش که بسیار بسیار جالبه، چرا این کتاب بین یک گربه و سگ و گربه هستش که با هم در رابطه هستن. The cat and dog relationship. و کتابی هستش که شما شاید خیلی از اوقات در خونه احساس میکنین که این رابطه سگ و گربه رو بین the husband and wife can relate, right? The husband and wife. و کتابی هستش که بچه‌ها میتونن نقاشی بکنن و باز در رابطه با پرورش صلح ازش بیاموزن و با قصه گویی بچه‌ها رو صلح رو درشون در خانواده پرورش بدیم. Trevor, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, peace.
Thank you.